Over the past year, I've been working on an original creature catching game called Buddymon. The overall idea with it is to use all of my creativity and skills I applied when developing my Pokemon regional videos, but rather than making fan-fictional ideas for the Pokemon world, instead create an original creature catching universe. Obviously, Buddymon is very inspired by Pokemon. That's not something I'm going to dispute. We're wearing our inspiration on our sleeve with this game, and ostensibly, it's a way for me to turn all of my Fakemon ideas and story concepts into something tangible that people can play. In this video, I'm going to go over 25 different Buddymon and talk about their typing, lore, their concept inspiration, and a little bit about how each of them fits into the battle landscape and world of Buddymon. A couple disclaimers really quick. Everything you're about to see, from gameplay footage to concept art and designs, is from an early build of the game and is subject to change at any time. Some of the Buddymon only have rough sketch art, others don't even have final names yet, and many of them are done in very different art styles that will end up unifying before release. So if things look a little weird right now, don't worry, that'll get smoothed out eventually, though generally speaking, every design you're about to see is locked in for the final release. Alright, let's jump into the Buddyverse and take a look at some of my favorite Buddymon concepts. Here's a taste of what I've been working on in regards to Buddymon. First up, we have one of my favorite Buddymon lines in the game. Dewappur, an unnamed chunky middle evolution, and Narbrawl. You might recognize Narbrawl from one of my earlier regional videos, and that's because he was originally a hypothetical evolution for the Pokemon Dugong, but has now been turned into a Buddymon with official pre-evolutions. So Buddymon takes place in the Orleans region, which is heavily based on the West Coast United States. The Dewappur line themselves are based on harbor seals, which are found snoozing on ports and docks all over California. If you've been to Cali, then it's definitely a prominent sight to see sleeping seals all over the coast, and I think these guys help represent the vibing animal pretty well. Talking about lore and types briefly, the first two forms are pure water, while the final form evolves into a water dark type. This was done to reflect how territorial and aggressive the harbor seals can get if another seal encroaches upon their favorite sunbathing spot. Upon evolution, Narbrawl's chubby flippers turn into fists of rage that it uses to protect its favorite beach spots from weaker Buddymon or others in its evolution line. You've probably heard me talk about this Buddymon before, but I can now officially reveal that its name is Dreadnim and it's based on a haunted pair of pants, as well as a California-specific cryptid called the Fresno Nightcrawler. The source inspiration is an alleged ghostly white, two-legged creature that stalks the Fresno mountains at night. It's been reportedly only seen near Fresno and has been captured on footage only a handful of times. Early concepts for this Buddymon leaned a lot more into interpreting the description of Nightcrawler almost exactly, where it was a physical monster that had two very long legs stuck to a squat body. But as we iterated on the idea, we found ourselves wanting to tie the creature more into the lore of the Buddymon world. In the end, we came up with Dreadnim, a ghostly blob who wears old prospector clothing it finds in abandoned mines around Orleans. This also helps tie into its typing, where it's not just a spooky specter, but an earth-inclined one at that. Shrubbit, Floppish, and Rambush, though they might not look like it, are meant to be vaguely reminiscent of Pokemon's Ampharos line. They're specifically based on Sea Sheep, or the Leaf Slug, though we've taken a lot of creative liberties translating the real-life creature into an appealing design. This line's temperament is very calm and relaxed, and because of that, they're usually mistaken as easy prey by other Buddymon. Upon being attacked, however, their safe, round edges turn into poisonous points, and they counterattack their foes with toxic jabs, almost always to the surprise of their attacker. Their relatively calm personality makes them a popular Buddymon to train, and them having serious strength hidden inside their blobby bodies makes them all the more helpful in a fight. Another design from my Pokemon regional videos that I've moved over into Buddymon, Yappers. This Buddymon is based on the small Chihuahua purse dogs that gained popularity with celebrities and valley girls on the West Coast. The quirk with Yappers, however, is that it literally can turn itself into a portable purse. While in its rotund form, its defense increases, and it loves to be shown off by its trainer, who more often than not will strut around and talk about how rare of a Buddymon they have. In the northwestern woods of Orlan, amidst dense and ancient foliage, you may get a glimpse of a rare Buddymon who swings through the trees. This is Tentangle, an octopus Buddymon who doesn't have any relation to water or even the ocean. There was an old internet hoax in the late 90s about a Pacific Northwest tree octopus, an endangered octopus species that swung from tree to tree. Obviously, that turned out to be fake, but here in the Buddyverse, even the craziest of animal ideas, real or fake, cryptids or mythology, can provide fantastic inspiration. Tentangle are relatively rare in Orlan, and even if you do manage to find one in the wilderness, they don't take kindly to interruptions. Even just running away from one can prove challenging due to their incredible ability to swing from tree to tree and shoot sap to slow opponents down. You guys know I love making lore and writing stories, and this next Buddymon factors heavily into the world building of the Buddyverse. There's a tech company that's become very prominent in the Orlan region that goes by the name of the Deucalion Corporation. They're meant to be very Apple or Silicon Valley inspired. The idea of a new age tech company that focuses on user experience and pushing the world towards an all-technology future. Anyways, one of their big initiatives was making their own Buddymon companion. They went through dozens of revisions and iterations, but eventually they released Tappy to the world. Tappy is an electronic assistant Buddymon that has all the conveniences of modern tech as well as standard Buddymon features. It can sync with your phone, connect to the internet, manage your calendar, steal your data, order things from stores, sell your privacy, play music, and it can even be captured and participate in battles too. It's one of the hottest new innovations in Orlan, so you better get out there and buy a Tappy fast before they're all sold out. As I'm typing this in the middle of the prairie, coyotes have begun circling my tent and are beginning to howl. I fear they're either hungry to play my game, or perhaps, possibly, they just want to eat me. Either way, these canines are a good basis for Buddymon, especially ones tied to the western United States. Coyote and Slyote, who you can also pronounce as Slyote, are mangy wild creatures that roam Orlan's deserts. They're ruthless attackers when full, and even more ravenous when hungry. It's recommended that people who travel the desert don't do so at night, because there have been many reported attacks by these dark-type dogs as soon as the sun goes down. They travel in packs, and if a group begins to circle you, I hope you have some strong Buddymon to protect yourself with. Ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present to you Buddymon Zubat. You were wondering what Buddymon would be constantly attacking you in caves or dank sewers. Well, Flyby's your guy. Obviously, it's based on the common American housefly, though for its evolution, Virapest, we amped up its annoying factor by giving it elements of another bug nuisance I absolutely hate, a mosquito. Bug spray is up 500% in Orlan due to these Buddymon alone, and if you really want to avoid them swarming all over you when camping or just taking a quick jog to the store, I'd recommend moving to a different region. Alright, being upfront with you guys on this Buddymon, this is one of the ones we're still trying to solidify a design for. We have many iterations of it, none of which necessarily capture all the vibes I'm looking for, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. This is Peresto, a white tiger with latent psychic abilities that loves using its mental powers to dazzle people in glamorous performances. This Buddymon is based on the big stage shows in Las Vegas, Nevada, a version of which will be in the region, and more specifically, it's meant to be a loving homage to Siegfried, Roy, and Manticore the Tiger, with a dash of stage magician thrown in for good measure. Some of its favorite tricks include juggling flaming swords using telekinesis, hypnotizing audience members to believe they're Buddymon, and the classic illusion of pulling a drawlip out of a hat. Yes, this cat can do almost everything a stage magician in Vegas can do, with just a bit more added pizzazz. Unlike Yappers, the Chihuahua, these buddy dogs are based on Huskies. The smallest one is Barktic, the middle form Malamush, which hopefully I have art for, and the final evolution is Canice. I'm very biased towards this line due to my own real-life dogs, but even setting that aside, I love the idea of a very graceful wolf-like creature that roams Orlan's tundras, howling to the frigid moon. These Buddymon are incredibly tough to train, but if you put in the time and effort, they are one of, if not the most, loyal companions of all time. They'll never leave your side through thick and thin, and on top of that, you get the added bonus of Husky meme faces too. Out of every Buddymon created, Wateroo is one of the ones that I actually drew the original concept sketch for. It's not a great drawing, to say the least, but I still feel very attached to this cowboy barrel. He has some strong Western vibes to him, and though he might not look like it, he's actually a pure water type that can shoot pressurized water like a gun at his opponents. Throughout the old Western days of Orleans, you would see bands of Wateroos getting into all sorts of trouble. Pulling train heists, being sheriff deputies, running saloons. They really exemplify the cowboy era of Orleans. I don't have much else to say, but Wateroo! I genuinely hope this isn't heresy, but here are 3 Buddymon based on biblically accurate angels, more specifically the Ophanim. One of the big differences in Buddymon compared to Pokemon is that rather than a fairy type, we have a light type that contrasts our version of the dark type. This is meant for things that have a very nice or friendly aura, as well as things that have a much more heavenly or holy tint to them. These 3 wheels definitely fall into that category, and as a 3-stage, they can become very powerful by their final form and rain down judgment upon those that they deem unworthy. We gotta find a better name for this next Buddymon, but for right now, it's tentatively named Catkiss. As in cactus. As in, this Buddymon is based on the Cactus Cat cryptid of the western US. In Orleans, this Buddymon is a popular house pet due to its ability to survive, nay, flourish in the extreme heat. And just like real cats, it can be very temperamental. One second it wants love scratches, and the next it's shooting razor-sharp needles at you for no reason at all. The last 2 Buddymon to show off are not part of the same evolution line, but instead are a duo locked in an eternal rivalry. M0U5, otherwise known as Mouse, and C4T-CH3R, also called Catcher. For these guys, we looked at a lot of old American cartoons that featured a mischievous mouse being hunted by a somewhat unlucky cat. Combine that with the idea of them running rampant through the internet and our modern digital world, and these guys fit right in with the other concepts of the Buddyverse. And this has been a brief look at 25 Buddymon that will be in my upcoming game. This is but a small fraction of the entire roster we're hoping to include, and the final game will have somewhere in the ballpark of 200 original Buddymon. I can't 100% promise that because game dev throws us a curveball almost every day, but I do have concepts and sketches that could easily take us there. Anyways, which of the Buddymon I showed today is your favorite? Which ones are you not liking as much? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching and sticking around my channel as I pursue this new endeavor, and I'll have another video that dives more into Buddymon out as soon as I can. Happy trails to you and your Wateroo.